What's one thing I've done in our marriage that made you think this is exactly why I married him?
I think it would have to do with baby. Those times when he was having quite a couple of complications, not complications, but like, easily one tonsillitis after the other, and then, that led him in the hospital many times. Just the way you'd calm the situation down and make me believe that nothing is gonna happen.
They say ladies first now.
Men lead.
Okay, so what made you believe On Different Grounds was a story the world needed to see right now?
Jam question. I just felt like there was a need for a cross-cultural story. A story that's, delves into diverse cultures and nations. And I also feel like it's high time we did more at, expanding our borders when it comes to films. Let's start shooting films in Greece. Let's start shooting films in India and be mainstream, not just you got a shot and came back to Nigeria and it's all Nigerian, So I just felt like it was time for such a thing, and that's why I felt the story needed to be told. And I also felt like we haven't had a proper older couple love story, in a while at least, and that's why I did it.
Awesome. I agree with you.
My turn.
All right then.
When you first read the script for On Different Grounds, what made you say yes? You tell me no. But yeah, honestly, what made you say yes?
Okay, for me it was the beauty of the story, and like you said, cross culture. I could already see how colorful it would eventually be, and it was difficult to say no. And also streamlining down to my character. I could already see myself as Tobore. I could already see myself doing Tobore things.
Awkward.
I could already envision how people would engage with my character. And overall, thank you. Overall, it was just a beautiful story, colorful one that, I could see people reacting to when they watch in the cinemas, the joy, the laughter, the happiness. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, your turn.
Okay, my turn. So, have I said you're beautiful today?
Thank you. You said it when you said it.
Okay, yeah, that was just, we have to chip in that. Okay, so out of every character in the film, which one do you think reminds you the most of me and why?
Which one reminds you the most? The funny thing is, I would say a bit of Nimesh and Rajesh. Yes, Nimesh, for the way you are with your friends, you really show up for your people. And he came all the way from India for his friend's daughter's wedding and came with his family. It's the kind of thing you do. You'd be like, oh, Chinedu's doing something, let's all go. Baby, the nannies, let's all go to, their stuff and all. So there's that. And then for Rajesh was very, very enduring. Like, he endured a lot in the face of, losing, what he wanted in the film, what was his character's main goal. And he did it with pokering up through a lot. And I think that you're like that. You poker up through a lot of challenges and a lot of, like, maybe baby's sick and I'm panicking, and you're like, don't worry, calm down. And inside you, maybe at the end, you'd be like, that time this happened, I was, oh my God, how were you able to poke her up through it all? So yeah, I think those two people in that way. A little bit of, the part I mentioned now is also a little bit of Bob Manuel's character as well, that he was going through pain, but he was very calm about it. But I think Rajesh embodied that more. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. Okay, and my turn. Which scene challenged you the most as an actor and why?
I think there was a scene where I engaged in physical battle. I mean, I at the time, I wasn't consistent in working out. When we were filming.
Yes.
Yeah, I was even...
You were chubby.
I was chubby. So I had to exert a lot of energy during that scene. I recall when I was done, I just went to one corner and I was like... and the person I was, in that scene with was muscular and all that. Muscles everywhere. I could see he still had energy to go for more. Like, you guys aren't going to do that now. For me, I think that was one very challenging scene because of how much energy I had.
We did that a lot. And then it was at like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Because that was when we could get the hotel completely quiet and shut down. Yeah. So we didn't shoot the day and then we shot at night.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. That was it for me.
But I also remember, like, immediately they say cut, you were off asleep on a chair, and they say, we're actually shooting. And say, oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
my turn. Was there a moment while making this film where you looked at me differently, either as an actor or as your partner?
Yes, as an actor, like this man and mumu. I think I was just amazed by your range. I've been with you at least now for going to 6 years, from when we started cutting to marriage and all of that. And I think that it was just a very different side of you, very comical. I know that you're funny, normal, but your type of funny wasn't the kind of funny that came out on screen. It was a very, very, I don't even know how to explain it, but I think the scene where it happened was that scene at Layla's at the restaurant. Oh my God. So for some reason, pepper fruit was going crazy for them, or they were going crazy for pepper fruit. So the director, and I don't know how they stumbled upon pepper fruit, and Ifeanyi was like, oh my God, I used to have this in my village, da 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 da. They went and got like a basket load and they were eating this thing. I mean, for the life of me, I didn't know what was the craze. Why are you eating pepper? But then when they say action, he puts it in his pocket, he starts to act. When they say cut, he brings it out, he continues, and then it gets to this part of the scene. He's already playing a very awkward guy and, very aloof. For some reason, if I embodied it so much, I started to look at you like, could it be that perhaps there's a side of you that I've not met, because why is it so effortless? And then at that point, pepper fruit did not digest. For some reason, maybe one was hiding somewhere in the mouth and immediately he just did. he choked on the pepper fruit, and for some reason, you blended it into the scene, because I was just thinking, like, this was so good, do we have to reshoot it? But you didn't break character. You flowed with it, and then and then as you were doing that, director now said, cut. And you said, I was really joking for it, because the director was like, oh my God, that cough was so good. It was so awkward. And you're like, you choke. So that was good for me. That was really, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, take your flowers.
Thank you. Can I have them?
Yeah.
Okay. So your turn, yeah.
Okay. So did playing your character teach you anything about yourself?
That's a very deep question, because now I have to go back and, think from my memory bank. What did it teach me about myself? Yeah, I think, and then again, I also have to be careful so I don't let out the story.
Yeah.
You know, but if I am to just generalize, I think I would say that in life, wherever you find yourself, whatever situation that may arise, whether favorable or not, you should accept the fact that there's always a way to finding happiness. You can find you can be at peace with yourself, regardless. And for me as a person, I've always been that person who, whatever situation I find myself, right, I have to be at peace with myself, because there's only one who is at peace and at rest that can actually confront challenges and overcome. So that's one part that I'd say, okay, my character taught me about myself. Yeah.
But if I hear you clearly, I can say that it reinforced it rather than taught you that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's something, it's like something you already live by.
Absolutely.
But it just reinforced
Absolutely,
that.
you're correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations. These are the things we do as writers.
Thank you.
Your turn.
Okay, that was a bit of a serious one, right? Okay, my turn. So what's one creative decision you fought hard for? You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
This is your core.
Plenty, yeah.
This is your core. Like, you can talk about from the very beginning.
I know.
You just have to pick one little part of,
Yes.
So what's one creative decision you fought hard for on this film that you are most proud of today?
Creative decision I fought hard for. To be honest. Oh.
I can help you.
I don't tell me, because I'm like, which one do I pick and which one do I not? Costumes.
That was what I was gonna say. You're always very keen.
Yes,
on the costume.
I paid attention. I worked with all the designers, and I was very clear to the costume designer that I hired to say, I want you on this, but I definitely have a certain creative direction that I want to go with. So it was more like, let's share work. Handle this, the wedding scene, which is your core, but you see every single other scene leading forward. I have a specific vision.
Yeah.
So with all the designers that I worked with, I went to their pages, to their designs, and I picked outfit after outfit, and I put their names under it, and I sent them pictures, and I told them the color scheme for each character. Oh, this man can't wear orange. This person can't wear pink. This person can't wear brown. We don't want any blacks. So the production design was very, very, very important to me, very critical. The throw pillows. I went to the market. I told my art director, go ahead, do what you have to do. But you see throw pillows, you see the rugs. You see, I was buying used rugs from, the market, because I needed certain colors in each room. So the arts, I went to Kokopelli Art Gallery and I picked out all the artworks that I wanted per scene, per room. So it was, I think, just production design. Let me leave it at production design. Yeah, and I think another key part that really I tried to stand on was the kind of food we saw in the scenes, especially the wedding scene. I had to call Auntie Elizabeth to come and make okwa, oba, nkwobi, all that, because I wanted that African food to show. And that was, I think that was something that I tried to ensure that we did. Okay. Your turn. If you could ask the audience to pay attention to one moment in the film, which moment will it be and why? I like your questions deep. Okay. If you could ask the audience to pay attention to one moment.
I'm just going to encapsulate, everything in one word. The moment when love won.
How can I clock it 10 times for you? Is it like this or like this?
I think it's like
no,
that.
I think this is clock it and then you ate. And
oh, really?
Gen Z's if I got it wrong. be merciful. Okay, so that's good. And I agree with you. High five. I agree with you. Let's do what millennials do. High five, baby. Okay, that's
so my
good.
question, right?
Yes.
So what's something about making on different grounds that audiences will never know but completely changed you? Do you understand?
Come again.
So what's that thing about making this film that audiences would never know but it completely changed you?
Ooh. Number one, there are two things. First, I did this coming out of pregnancy with sciatica. I shot this film limping on one leg. I had baby, and then of course I got a pinched nerve that lasted over a year before it went on its own. And doing that, you know, I'm looking at all the videos now and I see myself limping and I'm like, oh my God, you know, like the resilience. There were times when I would be on my feet from morning till night because, you know, we had a lot of challenges. We had clashes with locations. We had so many things. And because, you know, I had a certain vision for how beautiful I wanted the picture to be. Certain locations that were readily available just didn't match that vision. So sometimes we had to aim super high. When people realize you shot a whole film at Black Diamond for over 2 weeks, how did it happen? We just stayed consistent with how we wanted it to look, and we didn't want to take no for an answer. We didn't want to go less. So there was that. And I think that the second thing was just being able to manage the people. It made me pat myself on the back. It made me learn that, you know, as much as we're different in our colors, in our cultures and all, we're the same people. I remember the day one of the Indians, you know, he was so upset. Someone had said something unkind to him. You know how PAs sometimes can be like, you know, such sticklers for the rule. Okay, this is what we have. This is the budget for this. Stick to this. And then an actor is trying to explain that this is not working for him, and rather than be empathetic, you stick to the rules like, oh, I'm sorry, this is what we have, rather than, okay, can I try my best and then get back to you? And he was so sad and he felt so down. He was in his room and he reached out to me and he said, can we speak? I went to his room and he was like, Nicole, I would have left if it wasn't for you, because I didn't like how this person spoke to me. And I sat him down, and after just a few moments of talking, he said, you made it all feel good. You made me remember why I did this. He gave me such a beautiful hug, and I left, and I had to give someone $100. And I said, whatever it is he wants from now till the end, make sure that he gets it. And at the end, he called me and he said, can you take out what you spent from my fee? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I gave him his full fee, but I just felt like, for me, that goodwill has done so much, because each time I've called him afterwards, come for the premiere, come for this promo, come for that, from India, he drops everything. He, like, for the last event we did, he was on a set. He's told the set to give him his leave so he can come to Nigeria and show up to shoot content and all of that. And for me, I feel like it's the little things. So it changed me in that way that no matter how bad things get, we're all humans. You can have a conversation and it might change the trajectory of what could have really gone wrong. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, your turn.
Yeah.
What conversation do you hope that couples, friends, or families have after watching On Different Grounds? We had this question in our press junket.
Yeah. What love truly means, you know, because love is one of, if not the most used word, but the most misunderstood, misconstrued, underplayed. So if people watch On Different Grounds and, you know, leave the cinemas and have these conversations about, you know, what love truly is, I believe it would be On Different Grounds would be a success in that sense, which it is already, because people have been talking about it. And never give up. Never say never. Never say never. These are the conversations that this movie will spark. It's already sparked it. So yeah.
The song that comes to my mind is "If I Could Ever Paint a Picture of What True Love Should Be," which was a very one of the old Nollywood movies. It's soundtrack. But yeah, when you said that, I thought of that movie. Well, I think that really Nollywood, we've been trying, back in the days and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like that it's sparking that conversation of it's not too late to ever find love, no matter how bad things get, that it can still get better. So
absolutely.
you're welcome.
So what's the next story you're excited to tell after On Different Grounds?
All the Bridesmen. It's already shot, it's complete. It's about a girl whose past comes haunting her on the day before her marriage. So
Awesome.
it's exciting.
Well, you guys should watch out for that one.
Yes.
Okay, so.
All right, me. Watching me lead this project, what surprised you the most about me as a filmmaker?
I think it was tenacity on another level. How you went all out and you didn't have any other option than to win, and you won.
Tissue, please. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that for me, even what surprised me the most about myself was not cracking under everything that happened.
Yeah.
All the challenges. So thank God for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one thing about me that people admire, but only you know the real story behind? Which kind of question?
I love it. People admire your gentleness. But gentle. Rara. No, but actually you're a very calm person, but you are I don't know whether to call it mischievous. Sometimes I was just like, fine, please leave me alone now. Let me just rest, please. I said, no. So I think you can be very cheeky. You can be very troublesome if you want to, and like disturbing in the piece, but people really think that you are super, super quiet, like you don't talk. Hey, if you want to even do stand-up comedy, I think you make a name for yourself, probably even more than in acting. So yeah, I think there's that.
Okay. I agree.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
What's one thing about me that the public completely gets wrong? Same.
I think most people think that because you smile and you laugh, they don't know. When they come close, they see how very serious you are. They see how you mean business, and for them, it's usually, it jolts them back to reality. Do you get what I mean? So as much as you smile and you laugh, you're a go-getter, and then you try to let everybody understand that. So if she smiles, don't take it that she's a nice person, but very result oriented. I mean, you can't get results without a level of being stern.
Yes,
yeah.
Firm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So your question, right? To me?
You to me.
Me to you?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had to choose between being my wife and being an honest producer?
Many times.
Tell me about it. Tell me about the moment.
Many
or
times.
That moment.
But I mean,
one moment.
Can you remember any?
I mean, you're the one that should tell me.
Yes, I have had to many times. Like, I've had to be brutally honest to say, I don't think this is like, do you want to try delivering this a different way? And I've never directed you, so I'm not a director. I'm not the one who would say, do this, do that. But as a bystander watching you deliver a certain scene, I've done that. And then many a times it's also me encouraging stuff that you may not see that you did that was really good. Because like, remember when you said, she's a virgin, right? And I came out like, do it again. Like, and it wasn't in the script. I wrote it, it wasn't there, but I loved it. And I was like, do it again, and I went to tell director, like, did you see what he did? So I think that's that. And then just consistently being your sounding board. Like when you're preparing for a character and I see you, maybe you're trying to send in a tape and I'm like, babe, I think you should give him more energy, or I think you should tone it down and all of that. So I've had to, and I love that you do the same for me, because you're my first reviewer when I finish a script.
Control.
Yes, quality control. I'm like, baby, and when you don't, me, I'll be disturbing. I'll be like, should I give you my script since last week? You've not even read it, so I can't do anything until it has passed your own eye. And I also love the honesty, the brutality. Like, babe, this is great, but I felt like I was bored for a bit here to here. So I take that, because you're a film head, but people don't know. Yeah,
awesome.
So that's me.
Yours to your question to me. Yeah.
What's one sacrifice I've made for your career that you'll never forget? You guys.
I don't know. They're quite a number. I mean, for those that don't know, my wife is my manager. So there are times where, I would say, I know the budget these people have for this film, right? Somehow I'm just, let me just help out and and then my wife goes, it's good to help. It's absolutely fine. But you never know these things. The budget might be there for you. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
the worst they can say is no.
Yeah, the worst they can say is no. And then you always know how to accurately gauge, in conversations of negotiations where, okay, I think this is what,
this is the mark.
Value. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are times when it has been like from 100 to 200%, and I'm like, God, babe, how did you do that? I'm like, and also when we plan, whether it's my film or your film, the amount of work and energy you put into making sure that everything goes well. So it's not just one thing for me. It's quite a number. So yeah, take your flowers.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah. So my question to you.
Queen negotiator. Tell me when you need one.
My question to you, right? Or yours?
Yeah, it's you to me.
Okay. What's one dream of yours that you are willing to sacrifice everything to help me achieve? And what would that dream be?
Of course. So if I want to shoot a film, and there's a film that will give you Oscar, that film No, but yeah. If I even try to look at it a different way, like maybe it would be more like, what dream of yours am I willing to put everything on the line to ensure you achieve? And I think it's just becoming the best version of who God has called you to be. Anything pales on the table of that. Good thing you're serving now in the church as a pastor, such an honor to be called to serve. I think that if there is something that calling pulls, and it means me dropping something to see that, it would never be anything about money, because money can come from either ways. It would not be anything about fame. I think it would be something about the service of God. That if it's a movie and it's a service of God, I would drop it in a heartbeat. If it is international trips, if it's international global dominance, and it is going to be sacrificed on the altar of you coming into the fullness of God's calling on your life in a heartbeat. Because he who has called us is faithful, and as we tend his flock, he will tend ours. So
beautiful.
I lose nothing.
Beautiful. Okay, so your question to me.
Okay. What's one moment in our marriage that completely changed the way you see me? Pregnancy.
Childbirth, You really never can tell the changes, that occur after childbirth, in the life of a woman. And those first few months after childbirth does a lot to a woman. And it's in those times that as a woman, you either break or you are molded into something better. So for me, that was it. because it was just a lot, and you were able to overcome. And I saw you as a warrior.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Soldier in the army of God. Okay.
Okay, so my question to you now. Yeah.
Okay.
What's one thing I've done in our marriage that made you think this is exactly why I married him?
I think it has to do. It would have to do with baby. Those times when he was having quite a couple of complications, not complications, but like, easily one tonsillitis after the other, and then, that led him in the hospital many times. Just the way you'd calm the situation down and make me believe that nothing is gonna happen. I think, the times when I'll wake up and I see you carrying baby and you're just speaking in tongues, and those times I keep saying, why I marry him, I can sleep, and I mean, just also the fact that I wake up every morning maybe I walk till 4, I wake up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, baby's in school. I don't know how he went, I don't know how he was bathed, and then, you're working, and I'm like, how do you do this? Because you're a morning person, I'm not a morning person, I'm a night worker, so like, I'll be up till 5. And then it's just that time when baby's about to wake up that the small sleep is coming, and you wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that sleep. You would almost even not let baby come into the room. You sometimes peep to know if I'm awake so I can say goodbye to him before he goes to school. And for weeks on ending, you just do that, and you don't like, babe, So those times I just like, when I wake up and I'm like, where's baby? He's in school. I'm very well. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's just that.
So your question to me.
Okay, second to last question. If you could ask me to improve one thing as your wife and creative partner, what would it be?
Jesus, it's nothing.
You say lie.
No, because as much as we might have certain things to say with regards to why I may not be able to point out anything is because at the end of the day there is a motive behind the things that we do, and this is becoming like a counseling session.
I'm telling you.
So for me, I'd say we just give room to be better people, because we seek perfection in everything that we do. So even if I say this that doesn't, some things will take time, and so you're perfect the way you are.
Thank you, baby. But
because you're amazing, just the way you are.
Thank you. If I'm going to say anything from just being with you, watching you and your process, what I've been learning and working on changing is how much I share my thoughts, how much I share my opinion. Because the truth is that there are times where someone is doing something scared. Someone is just doing something to get themselves away from where they were. For instance, let me take your photography for it took your friends encouraging you to say, this is really, really good. Because you're not a photographer, you're an actor. That's how you're known and everything. But you do phenomenal photography. So it took me, a few people talking, and even if there's anything I get to see that I'm like, maybe you should tweak that color. I feel like it's also very important to know when not to, because at this point, we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for motion. And I think that's one thing I'm learning and changing, because before it's like, oh, that's great, but you can put orange on it and it will be fantastic. And it might be great advice, but just coming at the wrong time. So that's one thing I think that I'm also learning.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, I'm finally from
I think I have the...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have one question,
yes,
and you have the last
and
one.
then
Okay.
I have my one.
So if you could change one thing about the way I handle love, work, or conflict, what would it be?
Love,
work, or conflict. One thing. If you could change one thing about the way I handle. So now, I mean, is it
I'll take
one
one
of the
each.
three,
I'll take
or
one
all
each.
of them?
So for work, I would say be more, like, put yourself in front a little bit more. You're overly selfless when it comes to work. Like, people would walk over people who are that selfless. So I have to be the person who's bringing down the hammer. Like, no, you can have him come out to your set at 8 a.m. and you don't need him till 11. You know, you don't need him till 12. So I've had to do those kinds of things because you're there before the crew comes. You know, and people take advantage of that. They're like, Ifeanyi will be there early, so, you know, and they're not pushing. But imagine like the actress who was in that other project that you did that arrived early enough and blasted the whole crew from producer down. Like, how can I be here and you guys are not here? And that's not you. You come, you park in your car, you do some work and all. So there's that. Put yourself in front a little bit more, not to be nasty or anything, but just so that, you know, people don't also take it for granted that you are very accommodating. Next thing is conflict. I think for conflict, I would say you take in a lot, and then at some point I'm like, it went from 0 to 100, and I have to come in to say, they say, if I was leaving settle, he has left the house. From where to where? What did you people do? And they're like, you know, he said this. I'm like, but why didn't you warn them at the beginning? Till you just keep taking it, and then you're just like, you know what, I've had enough, and you walk away. So I'd say maybe be a little more confrontational about how you feel or the displeasures you feel, especially with outsiders. Because for me, when you have a displeasure, I can pick it and I can say, okay, what's the issue, or this wasn't intended. And then for love, I think it's also to just, you know, apply pressure. Kick what's that thing they put it? Is it the throttle?
The throttle, yeah.
Yes. So you are for your birthday, I have to beg you, let's go out. It's on me, I'm begging you. So like, be more expressive about it. Let's sit on the couch, let's watch a movie, let's go out, let's energy, you know. So I think those are the only things.
Awesome.
Yes.
It was really nice doing this. Oh,
I do my own. No, I have my last
okay.
one. When you think about our future, what's the one dream you hope we never stop chasing together?
Just to be better people. Travel the world, have fun, and
that part.
and be impactful, you know, affect lives positively.
Yes.
That's it.
We said 40 countries before we're 40.
Yeah.
We've done how many? Almost 10.
I'm almost there. All right, then it was nice doing this with you.
Nice doing this with you, baby.
Yeah. Thank you.
You want to hide it? Pastor.